guys. How's it going? Happy Tuesday. How's everybody doing this evening? Let me say hi to y'all. Let's see who's in here. Hey, Molson man. Good to see you. Rhodey gal. Sarah. Good to see you guys. Jeanette. Sugar Beet. Renee New. Long time no see. Welcome back. Let's see who else. I don't want to miss anybody. Heather, whatever. Hello. All right. Hi. I feel like that doesn't seem right, but did I say hi to if I missed you, I'm sorry. Your girl is tired. I'm not even gonna lie. Okay. Hey, Allie79. I'm tired. Like, I don't appreciate court starting at 9 because quite frankly, I have to get up then even hey, small town girl, thank you very much. I have to get up a little extra earlier, right? That's not even the right way to say it, but I have to get up a little earlier, right, to have everything done that I need to have done before I can start streaming because usually at about the 12 o'clock mark is when the StreamYards starts acting a fool. I have to shut everything down, and then we don't. Even though they've broken for lunch at 12:30, we're not breaking until like 1:30, 1:30. So yeah, so I'm a little tired today from it all. Plus, I've been doing some looking into some stuff. And the first thing hey, coolest reviews. The first thing that I wanted to talk about is I want to answer Sarah's question. So, Sarah, that you heard correctly. That is correct. The post that they were referring to was from the UK trial. Okay. However, when the judge turned to her and asked her if she had watched anything regarding the trial, Gina Duders said that she had, which was there was an order put on all of the witnesses that they were not allowed to do that. And so once she answered in the affirmative, then she was promptly removed and her testimony was stricken. So yes, that did actually happen. And that was the series of events. Yeah. It was okay. So the other thing that I want to talk about real quick is Picturegate. Okay. So I went back to yesterday's testimony, okay, her direct testimony. And Amber Heard was shown a series of pictures of herself, okay? The pictures that she was shown, the way that she testified was that it's the picture that's in question. Hold on a minute. Let me just put it up here. I'll show you guys. So the picture that's in question is there are two. Why did I click that? There are two pictures that the Johnny Depp's attorneys put side by side that Camille showed side by side. Okay. And there is one picture where everything in the picture is significantly darker, as it were. Actually, let me do it this way because sometimes, hold on, let me see if I can save it this way. I should be able to. Anyway, everything in the picture is darker, okay? And then the other picture, everything is completely the opposite. And not only is everything lighter, her hair looks different. And so I had asked Coolest Reviews, I sent him I took a screenshot of what was shown in court because I felt like now the jury is going to be able to look at the actual pictures where it's, you know, a little different for us. But let me show you what I'm talking about before I keep going. All right. So let me show you guys this. All right. So I took this screenshot. Okay. The only alterations I made to the screenshot, I cropped it so that it would be closer up, number one. And I cropped out like the top of my phone, obviously where the screenshot comes from. And then I cropped out at the bottom where, and then where it says long crime, and then all the, hey, Charlie, all their like whatever. And then the way that this was shown there on the other half of this, if you're looking at the picture, it's the picture on the right hand side. Amber and Camille Vasquez were shown, right? But this made it, you know, smaller. Or not smaller, but you know what I'm trying to say. I'm tired, you guys, so just cut me some slack. Okay. So as you can see in the picture, if you're looking at the picture, it's the left-hand side. Everything is darker. The color of the video or the picture is just plain richer. I don't know how else to say it. Okay. If you look at the picture on the right, it is different. Her hair is everything is toned down. It's a duller color. It is not as bright. It is not as saturated. Okay. Let me, hold on. Let me see if I can make it like this. See if that helps. Make it bigger. No, that doesn't work. Okay. So what Amber Heard testified to both on direct yesterday and on cross-examination today is that the only thing that Rocky Pennington and she did to these pictures is they are taken in different locations inside the penthouse, okay? And there is different lights turned on because different parts of the penthouse are better lit than others. And so some require less artificial light and some require more. So Amber says that the picture on the left, because this was what she testified to today, the picture on the left, if you're facing it, okay, that looks the way that it does is because she has those, the lights that go around a mirror, the true vanity ones, not the ones that are up at the top, but the ones that go all the way around the mirror. Okay. She has those turned on in the room that she is taking this picture in. Right. And this one, she says, is a more natural light. Here is my problem. The way that she testified to it on direct is that the picture on the right was taken the same day, but because she couldn't see, you see how it's blacked out here? That blacked out portion, that is redacted. That's the metadata that we all want to see, right? But they have redacted it. So, what she doesn't know what time this was taken. The problem I have with that is this. If you look at the picture on the left, her hair is different, not just taking out the color. If I made these pictures black and white, we would not even, it's not an issue of color. It is an issue of hairstyle. Her hair is tousled and messy in this picture in the way that you would sort of expect it to be, because she says that Johnny Depp snatched her up by her hair, pulled her snatched her up, because so one thing to pull somebody's hair, all right, but a snatch up, he was pulling her up off of the couch and leading her around. That is her testimony. Okay. They're talking about this, Renee, in the courtroom. Okay. It all came down to Textgate and Picturegate. Hey, Shmita. And so in this picture on the right hand side, her hair looks done. So what I did was I sent this exact picture to Coolest Reviews. And what I was trying to ask him is, could turning on or off a light make this drastic of a color change to a picture? And the other thing is that I don't that I want to know about is he put it through is it GIMP? I feel like that's the acronym, GIMP. And he says that the bruises don't line up. So I don't know if if you're still around, Coolest Reviews, if you want to come up now or you want to wait, or what you want to do. Because see, here's my problem with this hair extension situation. I don't know what type of hair extension she has. And now, to be fair, after lunch, I stopped watching. I tuned back in probably at around like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and Io was testifying. So it is my belief that well, yeah, it's not only it's not well, I wouldn't say what I think her hair is in the picture on the left, the darker picture. All right, the more colorful, the more vivid picture is that it's messy in the way that you would expect after a fight, especially if your hair was grabbed, right? The second picture, her hair looks not not messy, right? Not just brushed. It looks like it's curled. So what I want to know is, did she is the picture on the left immediately after it happened and the picture on the right later on in the evening? And well, Molson Man, to answer your question, it would depend on what kind of I'm going to address that too, Allie 79. Give me just 1 second. But let me answer this one. Okay, so there's different types of hair extensions, okay? There are hair extensions that you can clip in yourself and they're removable. You know, you wear them, you take them out, right? Okay. But then there are more expensive and better quality hair extensions that are sewn in or braided in. Those are different, and those are intended to last much longer. And see, it's just there's something not quite right about these pictures. Period. There's just something not quite right. And I will say, where I already lost out. There it is. Yes, that's the other thing, Allie. Her hair looks very brassy, which is interesting because, see, when you don't have naturally real blonde hair, right? It's like a dirty blonde. and you lift your hair or you lighten your hair, and you have to put a toner on it in order to remove the brassy, reddy, orange undertones that come from a lift, okay, or a lightning. And her hair is two different colors in these pictures. In the left, it's very brassy, and in the right, it's a much softer, more natural looking blonde. It's actually a better color. So there is something very wrong about these pictures. And it's you know where you can see it? If you watch the trial, right, and you look at Johnny Depp's hair, okay? His hair has a lot of brass to it because I think he's growing out a lift. And no, brassy is like orange, and it's got red and orange, think orangutan orange, like that, because that's what happens when you add bleach to dark hair, to brown hair, even if it's a lighter brown hair. um what I don't This is what I think. I don't think that it comes I actually am not all that concerned about the photoshopping, okay? Because I don't think that's what was done. Well, listen, I will say that the picture on the right, or excuse me, the picture on the left, the picture on the right actually matches the other series of pictures that were taken, okay, as far as the coloring of her skin, the coloring of her hair. This is the picture that's different. And this picture looks like she enhanced the coloring, period. I won't go so far as to say Photoshop, because I think what she did was she adjusted the coloring. That's what I think she did, period. I don't know when Amber's sister will be on the stand. They haven't been like real great about announcing who is up. And I believe that's my point right there. Coolest reviews. What I believe is the better question to be asking is, are the bruises real bruises, or were they applied with makeup? And to me, when you look at the series of pictures and you focus on the bruise is not always in the exact same place in each one of the pictures. The bruise looks in this picture on the right, it is almost directly under her eye and above her cheekbone. Okay. There are other pictures where it is somewhat lower, closer to, farther away from directly under her eye, and even closer to her cheekbone. Where it is right now is under her eye and in between the space, that space you have between your eye, the bottom of your eye, and your cheekbone. It's, for me, it is the movement of the bruises. That's my point. But for my irritation with Amber is her saying that these oh, hey, welcome. Oh god, I'm going to say this wrong. Giblet of NH. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad you decided to chat. So that's my problem, is that her testimony doesn't make sense. That's the problem I have with it. I don't know that I wouldn't go so far as to say the pictures are Photoshop, but what I would say is that I believe that the bruise is the result of makeup. And I will say that in the left-hand picture, I believe that there was an adjustment made to the color of the photograph versus actual Photoshop. I do not think Amber Heard Photoshopped a bruise in. I think she used makeup for the bruise, but I think what she did with this picture on the left is that she adjusted. She made a color adjustment, and it's definitely at a different. I don't care what she says. Her hair does not match. It was not taken at these two pictures are not in order. They were not taken. There is definitely a period of time, a long period of time, long enough for her to probably redo her hair, frankly. Probably maybe shower, dry her hair and style her hair. Those photo shoot pics Johnny's attorneys put into evidence today. Yes, she was. Those pictures were from the assault, the day of the assault. And I would like to, yeah, that's just, hey, Monica, that's just my thing. I'm just, okay. So, yes, they can. So, what's going to happen, Sarah, is Amber Heard's her team is presenting her case in chief right now. And when they're done with that, Johnny Depp's side will have an opportunity. That's what I wanted to know. Thank you. Thank you, Coolest Reviews. That's exactly what I wanted to know. So, to answer your question, Sarah, so then Johnny Depp's team will get an opportunity for a rebuttal, and then Amber Heard's will get an opportunity for a rebuttal, and then they will rest, and then it will be closing arguments. That's what's going to happen. So, okay. I think now I haven't read through the whole the whole file for the trial in the UK. Okay. But what I am thinking is that the trial was very, very different in the UK. For example, Johnny Depp was not suing a person; he was suing a publication. Specifically, he was suing the Sun, and there are different standards and rules for publications versus individuals. And publications, I suppose the best way to explain it is that they essentially it's not called the same thing in the UK. It's obviously called something different, but here we refer to it as freedom of the press. So they have a certain level of protection as a publication that's different than than an individual. And I think the reason that he lost in the UK is because Amber Heard was not a party to the lawsuit. She was only a witness. I think that he failed to first establish that Amber Heard's story, A, was a lie, but B, that the Sun knew it was a lie and printed it anyway. And I think that that is what the crux of the issue was with respect to the UK trial. Now, this trial is very different. Amber Heard is the subject, the party to the lawsuit. And I think that them going through her testimony, which I'm actually very surprised, frankly, that she is off of the stand, that her cross examination wasn't a little bit longer. I'm kind of shocked about that. I thought it would be a little longer than it ended up being. But I will say, I feel like that's probably because Camille felt like she had done enough. And since I didn't see what happened after lunch, we're all going to watch that now and figure out if indeed she did enough. All right. So. All right. It's this one. And then I got to go to the one that's like 11 billion hours long and scroll through it to find where Io is testifying. So let's hear what I think she absolutely got under Amber's skin. There were tons of moments where Amber had a visible reaction to Camille, and Camille getting under her skin. Absolutely. So without further ado, I would like to present the after lunch testimony of one Amber Heard on cross-examination by Camille Vasquez. And I'm going to make it at 1.25. I can't listen to things at normal speed. Something's wrong with me. All right, here we go. Oh, crap. I hit the wrong thing. My bad.
All right, thank you. You can be seated. All right, your next question.
Tom, may I please have you put up Plaintiff's Exhibit 881A? Ms. Heard, I'm going to ask you to take a look at Plaintiff's Exhibit 881A. This is one of the articles containing the counterclaim statements by Adam Waldman. Is that correct?
I haven't seen the article yet.
Okay. Why don't we go to page 8 of this article?
Okay, I have got to refill my beverage. I'm leaving Molson Man in charge. Schmida also.
Adam Waldman, Depp's lawyer, said afterwards, quote,
Behave.
Amber Heard and her friends in the media use fake sexual violence allegations as both a sword and shield, depending on their needs. They have selected some of her sexual violence hoax facts as a sword, inflicting them on the public and Mr. Depp. Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
Is that one of the statements that you allege are defamatory? It's defamatory?
That's correct.
Okay. Can we please go to Plaintiff's Exhibit 881B? And if we could go to page 10 and 11. In Plaintiff's Exhibit 881B, Depp's lawyer Adam Waldman said the various discrepancies prove that nothing Heard and her friends said about the events of May 21, 2016 could be considered credible. Quite simply, this was an ambush, a hoax. They set Mr. Depp up by calling the cops, but the first attempt didn't do the trick, he told thedailymail.com. The officers came to the penthouses, thoroughly searched and interviewed, and left after seeing no damage to face or property. So Amber and her friends spilled a little wine and roughed the place up, got their story straight under the direction of a lawyer and publicist, and then placed a second call to 911. But even this didn't have, apologize, you're fine. Okay. And if we can please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 881C. And go to page 11. This is another article, Ms. Hurd, where you argue that Mr. Waldman's statements are defamatory, correct?
I don't know if this is taken from that article because I can't see the article in full.
It's page 11 of the article. And the statement reads, we have reached the beginning of the end of Ms. Hurd's abuse host against Mr. Depp. Is that correct? Is that one of the what you claim is one of the defamatory statements sent by Mr. Waldman?
I believe so.
Okay. I want to explain this part in case anybody is just tuning in and only watching this part. You didn't watch this morning. So why Camille is questioning Amber Heard about these statements made by one of Johnny Depp's former lawyer, okay, is because this is part of Amber Heard's countersuit. She's claiming that the statements made by this gentleman were defamatory against her, and because of that, she was released or didn't hear back from Aquaman 2. And when there was the press tour, for lack of a better word, for The Stand, she was not invited to go along. And she is saying that's her counterclaim. Okay. So that's why Camille is asking her about this right now, because this goes to her counterclaim, which is interesting to me because I don't recall Elaine asking Amber Heard anything about her counterclaim. I just found it. I don't know why she wouldn't, but she didn't. So here we go.
Thank you. Ms. Hurd, you're not aware of any career opportunities that you lost as a result of Mr. Waldman's statements, are you?
Well, it's kind of hard to point to the jobs you're not offered,
Right.
to the gigs you don't get.
You were not replaced in Aquaman 2, were you?
They released me from my contract and I fought to stay in it and they kept me in it. I just don't know how much I'm in, actually, of the final cut.
And you testified yesterday that L'Oreal actually extended your contract in April of 2020. Is that correct?
In part, they extended it and held me.
And you testified yesterday that L'Oreal extended your contract again in November of 2021, correct?
Not exactly. They extended it because they couldn't use me or any of the materials for me.
And that extension was for 20 months, right?
That's correct.
Ms. Hurd, you testified yesterday how Mr. Waldman's statements, quote, torture you every day. Do you recall that testimony?
I do.
And then, and that you look at them every day.
I look at the online attacks, the media. You can't avoid it, to be honest, that those statements are often attached to. I don't look at his statements every day.
And you testified that you just want to move on with your life, right?
I do very much want to move on with my life.
But you've gone out of your way to engage with Mr. Waldman on social media, haven't you?
I have made a comment, I believe, once. I would not characterize that as engaging with him.
Let's please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 1266.
Hey, Navigator, good to see you. Hey,
microphone.
okay. Yeah, I
Your
mean,
microphone.
it's a lot. It was a lot,
I don't have
Giblet,
this yet,
and
so I'm asking
sometimes
for
I
it
need
to
a
be
break.
given to me
Okay.
before.
It's a
I
photograph.
think it's just a.
I can only take so much.
This
of
is your
Amber.
tweet, right, Ms. Hurd?
That is correct.
I'm going to move to admit and publish this tweet.
Relevance?
Objection, I'm sorry, what was the objection?
I'm sorry, relevance?
All right, I'll overrule the objection, 881C in evidence.
Ex- Elaine, did you not
Can we
just
please have
hear
it
the
published to the jury?
question? She asked her if she
I'm
engaged
sorry, 1266, I apologize.
Thank you, Your Honor.
with Adam Waldman.
This is from March 26, 2021, right?
That's what it looks like, yes.
And this is after he made the statements you claim are defamatory, right, Ms. Hurd?
21, yes.
Ms. Hurd, you tweeted at Adam Waldman, quote, "Yes, Mr. Waldman, I may be wearing makeup on this occasion, but on every occasion you will still be short." Did I read that right?
Yes.
We can put this down. Thank you. Ms. Hurd, since your relationship with Mr. Depp ended, you have completed your level 3 sommelier training, haven't you?
I haven't completed it yet. I
You're on
just
level
stopped.
2.
No, I'm on level 3.
You also have had a baby, right?
I have.
And you enjoy being a mother?
More than anything.
You still love to cook?
I do.
And you love to hike?
I've taken a break on hiking for a minute.
You have friends, right?
I do have friends.
And you spend time with those friends?
Occasionally, when I can.
And you exercise regularly?
Every day.
You just filmed a movie in March of 2022, isn't that right?
Yes, the one I just shot in Guatemala that I spoke of earlier.
And you have you had a major role in a major film that's scheduled to be released soon. Is that correct? Aquaman 2?
As I said, I don't know if I will even be in the final cut or how much I will be. It was difficult to stay in the movie.
You struck Mr. Depp multiple times during your relationship, didn't you, Ms. Hurd?
There were many times I had to use my body to defend myself, and that included swinging wherever I could. If it meant I could get away, absolutely. If it meant a difference between a sore face and a broken nose, you bet I would. You
That's
bet.
your testimony under oath that you never struck Mr. Depp as the initial aggressor?
Well, he was holding me against the wall by my neck. You know, I might be the first person to have been the first one to slap, which happened in Australia, you know, when he was choking me. But I wouldn't say I was the initial aggressor in that situation.
You got physical with Mr. Depp often during your relationship, didn't you?
I had to defend myself as best I could. Didn't seem to make much of a difference.
Yes,
You just couldn't
Renee.
control yourself, could you, Ms. Hurd?
I tried to defend myself when I could, but it was after years of not defending myself.
Can we please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 356? And Your Honor, portions of the exhibit were entered into evidence yesterday, but we moved to admit the entire recording.
All right.
And I can confirm that there's no other voices besides Ms. Hurd's and Mr. Depp's. I intend to play from 129:27 to 130:07.
So I have 356A in evidence. Is any objection to the entire 356 coming into evidence?
If I may, hold
Okay,
on just for
sure.
a moment, Your Honor, I have to check on something.
Oh my God, Elaine. Well, at least she's remembered to turn her microphone on. It took her half the day, but she remembered. Well played, Elaine, I guess. I don't know. But yes, to
Answer
answer
for
your
now, and we'll
question,
double
that's
check our
exactly
notes on
what
that, because
she's
there was
doing.
one that had something in that couldn't go, and I just can't find my notes on
All
that
right,
right
we'll
now.
just call it 356B for now.
That's fine. Thank you, Your Honor.
Could you just give me the times again?
Yes, of course. 129:27 to 130:07.
All right, and I'm just told that we already have a B, so we
Oh,
have
thank you,
356C.
Lupe. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well,
I can't promise you that I'll be perfect. I can't promise you I won't get physical. God, I fucking sometimes get so mad I lose it. I can fucking promise you I'm gonna do everything to change. Promise you. I'm not gonna go around the bush. I will not say the words unless I leave. Unless it did. And then I hope you leave me. I'm not going to need to. I will leave you. It's fair. I can't do it, you know? And I think honestly, if we hold each other accountable to that, it's fair.
Ms. Hurd, that's you and Mr. Depp on that recording, correct?
That's correct.
And you told Mr. Depp, quote, "I can't promise you that I won't get physical," end quote, correct?
That's correct. He was accusing me of instigating something in a situation I explained yesterday.
And you also told Mr. Depp that sometimes you get so mad you lose it, correct?
That's correct. I also explained the context of that fight yesterday.
Isn't that exactly what you told Ben King on your way back from Australia? That you get so mad you lose it?
Absolutely not. I know that that's what Ben King testified to, but I never had that conversation with Ben King.
If we could please
In the
play-
meantime, I'm sorry, I checked and I have no objection to the entirety of 356
So
coming in.
356 in its entirety will be in evidence.
you
All right, thank
couldn't
you.
couldn't
Thank you,
hold
Your
your
Honor.
peace for
If we
just
could
a
please
second,
play
Elaine.
from
So
what's now been
rude.
admitted, Plaintiff's Exhibit 356 in its entirety from 7:05 to 7:43.
Oh yes, let's play the
I'm not gonna
entirety.
be in a physical fucking altercation with you.
Then don't.
You fucking hit me last night. You fucking.
What about all the other times you split? Come on, you cannot act like that's about that. It's
Well,
not.
we're on a plane. I can't split.
No, and you hit back. So don't act like you don't fucking
I
participate.
pushed you.
Hit back.
I'm not gonna get into the details of that fight. You and I both know that you split when there is no physical violence involved. And that you do it like at the very beginning of fights these days. And if you split and you go into a different room and you don't actually leave that house, it does nothing but perpetuate the fight. And you don't actually do it respectfully. You don't.
Ms. Hurd, is that you and Mr. Depp on this recording?
Yes, it is.
Can we please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 343? And I believe that one's been admitted already to evidence.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And just for the record, we're playing from 246 01224720.
I wish that Camille would ask her why
I
she didn't
said
get into the
to Travis,
details.
I said to you, hey, tell Travis what just happened.
Oh, you told me to do it. You told me to. You said, go do that.
I said, no, tell him what just
And
happened.
I lied.
That you punched me in
You're
the
right.
fucking thing. And
You figured
in
it
the
out.
face. And you said, no, fucking, no, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? And I
I didn't
watched
punch
you lie. And then
I didn't punch you, by the way. I'm sorry that I didn't hit you across the face in a proper slap, but I was hitting you. I was not punching you. Babe, you're not punched.
Don't tell me what it feels like to be punched.
You know, even a lot of fights, been around a long time. I know. Yeah.
No, when you fucking have a close
You didn't get punched. You got hit. I'm sorry I hit you like this, but I did not punch you. I did not fucking deck you. I fucking was hitting you. I don't know what the motion of my actual hand was, but you're fine. I did not hurt you. I did not punch you. I was hitting you.
How are you?
What am I supposed to do? Do this? I'm not sitting here bitching about it, am I? You are. That's the difference between me and you. You're a fucking baby.
Because you started.
This
You're such a
particular
baby.
one is
Grow the
Amber.
fuck up,
Did you start
Johnny.
physical fights?
I did start a physical
Yeah,
fight.
you did. So I had
Because-
to get the fuck out of there.
Yes, you did. So you did the right thing, the big thing. You know what? You're admirable.
That's you and Mr. Depp on that recording, right, Mr.?
That's correct.
And you said you hit Mr. Depp, right?
Yeah, I had to hit his body to get
Ms.
him out
Heard,
of the door.
my question was, you said on that recording that you hit Mr. Depp, right?
Yes, I did.
And you accused him of being a baby for not wanting to be in a physical fight with you, right?
Incorrect. I accused him of being a baby for complaining about me hitting him when he was trying to get through the door. I was trying to barricade.
Can we please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 368? And again, Your Honor, this is a recording of just Mr. Depp and Ms. Heard. I'm going to move for the entire exhibit to be moved into evidence.
All right, any objection to 368?
Y'all, she bigly mad and losing
I don't
her.
think so. No, Your Honor.
All right, no objection. 368 in evidence in its entirety.
It's just really odd. Anyway, I opened the bathroom door when you were knocking on it. After a few times I opened. And, you know, you just kept going. You just kept going. Tried to close the door 3 times. You know, please, just don't, you know, and then wait. And then I accidentally, I swear, when I was trying to close the door, I guess it scraped your toes. I didn't mean to do that. And I bent down, and you either pushed or you kicked. I think you kicked the door open. I mean, so the door, more open, so that it would hit me. And it hit
No,
me.
I didn't mean to. I didn't know
It hit me in the fucking head.
But I did not mean to do that. I don't know what
I was bent down behind the door.
I did not do anything to her. I did not kick a door or push a door so that it would hit you. I did not. I swear. But I don't even. That was not my intention. I think I remember when the door scraped my toes. I reacted, but the door thing. I remember. I never did that. That wasn't on purpose. I might have done it on accident.
Okay.
Right.
So let's say that was an accident. I then stood up. I don't even know if I said. I mean, I might have said like, "What the fuck," you know, whatever, because I just been hit in the head with the fucking corner of the door.
Answer Charlie real quick. Okay. The majority of the recordings that we've heard are recordings that Amber Heard made and that Johnny Depp was not aware of. There are some that he was aware and some that he was not aware. Okay. Then there are a few recordings that that Johnny Depp made, but he only started recording her after he realized that she was recording him. And I think that you can tell by the clips that are played who is the person that's doing the recording. For example, this recording, I believe, is done by Amber Heard. And the reason that I believe that it's Amber Heard doing the recording is because she states, I don't want to get into the details. If you are not the person who is doing the recording and you're not aware that you're being recorded, why would you bite your tongue? Why would you ever hold back from what you're saying? The other thing is that there are other audio recordings that you can hear just by the volume of the voices that Amber is the one doing the recording because her voice, the volume of her voice, she's not screaming. It's just that she's closer to the microphone of the phone than Johnny Depp is. He sounds way off in the distance, and there are times when he's almost inaudible because he is far away, and there are certain points in those recordings where you can hear her moving closer to him, right? Because then it sort of gets loud, but you can tell that he's also, as she's moving forward, he is taking steps back. And then there was one other point that I wanted to make, but then I've lost it. So I'm just going to go ahead and push play, and maybe it will come back to me. Oh, I know what I was going to say. So the other issue I have with Amber, the other thing that makes me realize the difference between when Johnny Depp is recording and when it's Amber's recording is that they will be discussing a time, right? Specifically, like the situation in Australia, that was probably the most violent assault that those had the most. Yeah, it was the most violent alleged assault, because not only was it physical, she was SA'd with a bottle, she said. And the thing is that she will confront him about these really small, insignificant details, right? Or issues that they have. Like, she raised a whole fuss on one of the audio recordings because he spilt wine on her 3 times, right? But that discussion about the wine is the same night that the alleged SA and the brutal fight occurred. But she never confronts him about that. And if you ask me, and this is just my opinion, I don't. If I were going to be discussing violence against me, I would think the most pertinent issue would be SAing me with a bottle versus spilling wine on me 3 times, whether it was on accident or on purpose. That's just me. Okay. That's all I wanted to say. Let's continue.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I'm sorry.
And then I stood up. And then you fucking clapped me.
I remember hitting you as a response to the door thing. And I'm really sorry about hitting you with the door or hitting your head. I did not mean to, nor.
You didn't mean to hit me in the head with the door, but you meant to punch me in the jaw.
I meant to hit you, and I did not do this thing with the door. I did mean to hit you.
So that you didn't mean?
The door? No, God, no, I didn't.
But punching me in the jaw.
I didn't. Okay, I'm sorry I hit you. I did mean to hit you, but it was in response. I just reacted in response to my foot. I just reacted, and I'm sorry. It's below me.
Your foot? That was why you punched me?
Yeah. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I.
Again, that's you and Mr. Depp on that recording, right?
That's correct.
And Mr. Depp was hiding from you in the bathroom. Isn't that right, Ms. Heard?
Incorrect.
Well, Mr. Depp said on that recording, I opened the bathroom door when you were knocking on it. Doesn't he?
I don't know if he said that. I didn't hear that.
And
one
Mr. Depp
detail.
said, when I was trying to close the door, I guess it scraped your toes. He says that, doesn't he?
Correct.
And then you kicked the bathroom door into his head, didn't you?
No, I didn't. And
And
I
then you punched him in the
defended
jaw.
myself in that audio. You can hear it for yourself.
Right. And then you punched him in the jaw.
I also did not do that. I tried to make that clear on the audio tape too,
So-
in futility.
So Mr. Depp said, you meant to punch me in the jaw, right?
Are you asking me what he said on the recording? Yes, he said that.
And then you respond, I meant to hit you, didn't you?
As I explained yesterday, I was trying to get him off the door,
And you said, I remember, I did mean to hit you.
meaning the door. The door was on my feet. I reacted
Okay.
instinctively to that.
Okay.
You've
Let me
heard this
just
audio
push
before,
pause
haven't
right
you,
here.
Mr.
Let me just push pause right here. Okay. I don't understand. I don't know if this is being accurately and properly conveyed. Okay. If you guys are getting this, but it's very, I feel like you probably are, but I'm really, really freaking annoyed by this. This is why I can't handle too much Amber Heard. Okay. She's like gamma rays. Okay. A little bit of gamma rays, you're all right. Too much gamma rays, and you're the Hulk. And I'm about to be the Hulk. Okay. Here's the deal. She is on the other side. Johnny Depp is in the bathroom. She is outside of the bathroom. So please explain to the court, Ms. Heard, how it is that you need to defend yourself from somebody who, by your own admission on this audio that we have just listened to, where you admit that you were trying to get in, that you were knocking on the door. Okay. Why would you be knocking on the door? Why would the person who is the aggressor in the situation, according to your testimony, lock themselves in a bathroom, which would necessitate you beating down the door? Wouldn't you just, I don't know, leave the room? Excuse me, I have the hiccups. Leave the room? Why are you trying to get in to where your abuser is? Who breaks into a room where their abuser is?
Yeah, we've already had this trial before.
Yeah, it was played for you when you were deposed in 2016 in connection with your divorce from Mr. Depp, wasn't it?
That's one of the times I've heard it, yes.
So you've had plenty of time to think about how to respond to this recording, haven't you?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Well, let's take a look at how you responded to it the first time. Can we please pull up what will be marked Plaintiff's Exhibit 1261?
The next thing that I'm going to play
Your Honor?
to
Okay.
you as cue.
Oh, you want to come?
Oh, for Pete's sake, Elaine, didn't you get enough muffins at lunch? What's your problem? I'm telling you guys, Elaine labors under the misconception that there is a charcuterie tray up there at the bench because she's forever wanting to be up there, and I cannot figure it out. So I'm down to, it can only be because she thinks there's a charcuterie tray there. Yeah, it does. Outside of the box.
I'm going to read it into the record.
With Chloe Joe.
I will.
Good to see you.
So,
Welcome
Your Honor,
back.
for reference, and I will provide a copy of the deposition, Ms. Heard's deposition in the divorce. It's page 372, lines starting at line 5 through 377, line 12.
All right, I think,
Okay. Yes.
May I approach, Your Honor?
yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I like how Camille
Your Honor, with permission, may we please play?
doesn't want to get too
We
close
just
to
get to
her.
that page, make sure everybody's at the.
She gets
you-
as close
could you
as
say the
she
page number again,
please?
absolutely, you know what I'm saying? She stays as far back as she absolutely can while
Page
Amber can actually still
372,
reach what
lines
she's getting.
5
Hey,
to
Buttercup.
377, line 1 is what.
I can't get past her, and I agree with you, Buttercup. I can't get past her pantsuit today. Not everybody can pull off a white on white. You know what I mean? That's a lot of white. And she's pulling it off, and she's pulling it off well. Now it's neither here nor there. It doesn't mean that she's, just because she dresses nice, that she's, proficient at her
The
job, but
next
she
thing that
just
I'm going to play
happens
to
to be
you
very proficient at her
as
job.
cue. Would you listen to this, please? Punching. That's the point.
Your Honor?
Oh my God, Elaine. Well, while Elaine's up there trying to look for the missing charcuterie tray, we're going to go ahead and put this on 2 times speed so we can get through this. But I'd like to point out that, Miss Hurd, I have a real issue with you sweeping I don't care that you ate at your deposition. That's neither here nor there. But girl, you swept the crumbs onto the floor. Do you want ants? Because that's how you get ants.
You will probably do it through reading the deposition, Your Honor. We don't need to do that. Ask them to take off the screen. Did you take off the screen?
That's fine.
Thank you.
I have no
Can we
objection.
please start it over?
The next thing that I'm going to play to you as cue. Would you listen to this, please?
Now, I couldn't eat and listen to that, but that's just me. Some people are emotional eaters. I'm not.
Anyway, the bathroom door when you're knocking on it. Have you really checked that open? And you just kept going, kept going. Trying to close the door 3 times. You know, please, just to let me know. And then wait, and then I accidentally, I swear, when I was trying to close the door, I just stretched your toes. I didn't do that. I'm like that down. Like you like push me, kick the door. I mean, say put the door, get more open. So
No, I did not do that. But I did not mean to do that.
I was bent down to like this door.
I did not do anything to I did not kick at the door so that it would hit you. I did not. I swear. I mean, that was not my intention. I think I remember when it was scrape my toes.
Okay.
You did
So
tell me,
you told
Shmita.
him in that excerpt that you
Did
hit him
you
with the
see
door,
your
but
part
not
that I
intend
made
to
for
hit him,
you?
correct? Did you say that?
I said whatever I said in that recording. I
Okay.
don't, when you play it for me, it's hard for me to remember everything.
And that's a recording marked as exhibit Q.
Q. What was
Q.
just played?
Q. Would you continue to listen to exhibit Q?
Are these from the same day?
I reacted, but this whole the door thing. I never did that. That was on purpose. I might have done an accident.
Okay. Let's say that was an accident. I then stood up. I don't even know if I said, I might have said, what the fuck, you know, whatever. I just hit in the head with the fucking wall of the door.
I'm so sorry. I did not. I'm sorry.
I mean, I stood up. And then you felt the fuck.
I remember hitting it as a response to the whole thing. And I'm really sorry about hitting you with the door or hitting your head. I did not mean to ignore.
You don't need to hit me in the head with the door, but you meant to punch me in the jaw.
I meant to hit you, and I did not do this thing with the door. I do remember I did need to hit you.
Was it that you didn't mean?
The door? No, God, no. I
Put punching me in the jaw.
okay, I'm sorry.
Oh,
So on the tape, you tell Johnny Depp that you did mean to hit him.
And it also misrepresents what actually happened, which is him trying to get into a room I'm trying to keep him out of. And then he runs the door over my toes, trying to get into the room. I tried to push him out of it, which is what the hit is referred to. And Johnny, whenever he was injured or touched at all, always referred to it in these ways of punching or clocked or whatever. And whether you discussed it with him or not, the last thing you do in talking to him afterwards or trying to reconcile with him is to get into what the definition of those words mean to him. I never even addressed it. If he was ever pushed, it was a cold. He called it a cold clock. I mean, it's just very dramatic.
Isn't it true?
You're smiling as that audio recording is being played in your deposition, aren't you, Ms. Heard?
Not smiling because of the audio. I'm smiling because of what's happening around me.
You even roll your eyes at one point, don't you?
I was sitting opposite a whole table full of lawyers who were snickering, laughing, and rolling their eyes at me while I was talking.
you weren't talking.
Is there
You
something
were
amusing about
listening
kicking a door into your
to
husband's head?
audio.
No, I was rolling my eyes and commenting on what I was experiencing at that time in recounting the
Is
story.
there something amusing to you about punching your husband in the jaw?
That is not what I was smiling about. And no, I do not think it's amusing.
Ms. Heard, you testified yesterday that all you want to do is move on. Do you remember that testimony?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, your exact words were, quote, "I just want him to leave me alone. I want to move on with my life, and he won't let me." Do you remember that?
Yes, that is correct.
I'm glad you put that.
That's not true, is it, Ms.
You
Heard?
cited the reference, even though
It
I
is
knew
very true.
exactly what it was.
You just haven't been able to move on with your life, have you? From Mr. Depp.
I'm here, aren't I?
What?
In fact, on October 11th, 2018, you actually commenced an arbitration action against Mr. Depp for defamation, didn't you?
I don't recall that, no.
Your Honor, may I approach? May we approach?
Oh, for Pete's sake. Here we go. Back to 2 times speed. I don't want to be rude or anything, but like, I don't blame you, Coolest Reviews.
Pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 219.
Oh my God. Here we go. Sorry, my bad. I'm
Ms. Heard,
making me
if you
work
could read
tonight.
yourself the first page of Exhibit 219.
All right.
Oh no, okay. Here's the thing. She's asking and for 100 million and he is asking for 50 million. That doesn't even mean that she will, that even if they find
And
for
if you can
Johnny
also
Depp,
read
it
to
doesn't
yourself
mean that
the
that's
second
what
page of Exhibit 219.
he will be awarded. They could award him more actually, but they could also award him less. Same with her.
Yes.
And if you can scroll down, Tom, again, Ms. Heard, just to look at that page.
I'm so confused though. Why am I the only one that thinks that he's in the bathroom? Because why would you?
And then scroll down to the next page, please.
If you're in the room and you're the one trying to keep Johnny Depp out, why are you knocking on the door?
And the next page.
Am I crazy? I mean, I know I'm crazy, but did I hear that right? Am I understanding the situation the way it is while Amber scrolls through whatever the hell it is that she's looking at right now? Y'all can tell I have completely lost my patience with Amber Heard.
Does that refresh your recollection, Ms. Heard, that you did, in fact, in October of 2018, 2 months before you published the op-ed in this case, that's the subject of this case, you initiated an arbitration against Mr. Depp for defamation?
It's not my understanding I initiated an arbitration. It's my understanding that our lawyers sent a letter to his lawyers after he called me a liar again, effectively, in an interview.
And that's 2 months before your op-ed that was published in December of 2018, right?
That is correct.
And that's 6 months before Mr. Depp filed this case against you, correct?
That's correct.
So you fired the first shot, not Mr. Depp.
I disagree. We sent a letter.
We just got a letter. We just sent a letter.
Ms. Heard, isn't it true that you once filled out a customs form falsely so that you could get...
May we approach?
Oh, Elaine. Elaine, you're no fun. You're not going to be invited to the Word's annual slumber party, Elaine. Okay, because at this point outside the box, Amber is making me question my own understanding of what is happening. I'm questioning reality in general. I'm suing, but unfortunately, I don't think there's going to be anything left. God, 77 years they were at this damn. It doesn't, it's like, it does not. When I hear the audio, right? And I'm keeping in mind when I'm hearing the audio, depending on who's playing the audio, right? That I'm only hearing a portion of a conversation. And I understand that. I'm not hearing all of the things, okay? But I know for a fact that I absolutely, definitely did hear Johnny Depp say, "You kept knocking on the door," and and then she continues with her story, and she's like, "I was trying to keep him out." Why were you knocking on the door then? I don't understand.
So you testified yesterday that when you left the courthouse after obtaining the domestic violence restraining order against Mr. Depp, you walked out to, quote, a sea of paparazzi and cameras, right?
That's correct.
You testified that you were surprised to see the sea of cameras.
That's correct.
Because it was quiet when you went into the courthouse that morning.
And the divorce had remained under the radar up to that point.
You testified that no one knew about your divorce, so you thought it was going to stay that way, right?
It's like a David Lynch
I
movie.
always figured it would come out. I just was trying to buy time.
You knew the media had been alerted that you were filing for divorce, right, Ms. Heard?
No, I just knew that it was impossible to do that privately, so you could just hope it was a matter of time.
You knew they were going to be there, didn't you?
No, I did not. I mean, I
publicist-
assume since it's a public building that there's that likelihood, or not likelihood, but possibility. But I was shocked.
Oh, were you?
Your publicist, Jody Gottlieb, was there at the courthouse with you, wasn't she?
Yes, she was.
So you anticipated that you might need your publicist?
I thought the filing might make, well, I was told the filing was public, that it would be impossible. There's no way for you to do a private filing. And then the second that I filed for the TRO, it would be public news. I didn't expect all these photographers and cameras to show up at the courthouse in real time, but they did.
If we could please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 1280, which is a clip from your divorce deposition. And you have at page, if I can alert you, you have the transcript there, page 74, lines 22.
You said
through
874?
74,
74.
line 22 through 75, line 13.
I'm sorry, just 72 lines.
74, line 22 through 75, line 13.
Somebody bust out the crayons. Elaine's lost again.
Your Honor, may we approach?
Oh, for Pete's sake. All right. Well, while they approach, this is a question I have. Now, I am aware, I understand how the courts work, and I understand that the difference between, things are public. But hey, anaphylaxis, I'm confused about a part though. So does the paparazzi and the tabloids and stuff, do they just constantly refresh the courthouse, the records? Like, how does that work where they would get alerted to something like that? I would think that you'd have to be looking for something like that.
If we could please play and display to the jury Plaintiff's Exhibit 1280.
Executive responsible.
Ms. Hurd, did you send a text message to Jerry Judge on May 24, 2016, telling Jerry Judge, quote, "I'm desperately trying to reach Johnny. It's extremely important. Please tell him"?
I remember sending the text message that is in front of me right now to Jerry. And I remember sending this because I wanted to tell Johnny, or have him told by Jerry or someone who knew him or was close to him. Basically, I didn't want him to find out online that I had or was about to file, or I had already filed for divorce. I wanted him to know verbally. So I was trying to reach him through a third party to tell him. When I say reach, I'm specifically saying I would like him to know information coming from me, or coming from Jerry, from me, so that he finds out about the divorce filing, or my intention to do so, from some other source other than TMZ, which was alerted.
You slipped up there, didn't you, Ms. Hurd? You let it slip out that TMZ had been alerted to your filing of the domestic violence restraining order, didn't you?
I disagree. That's not what I'm talking about.
TMZ is the same outlet that you released the video of Mr. Depp attacking the kitchen cabinets the day before this deposition was taken, wasn't it?
I didn't do that. I don't know
TMZ
how
owns
to do
the
that.
copyright to that video now, doesn't it?
I have no idea what TMZ
Did they pay
owns.
you for that?
I never got paid for it because I had nothing to do with that.
So TMZ was just lucky in getting the inside scoop to your divorce from Mr. Depp, huh?
I have no idea. That's not my area of expertise. I wouldn't even know how to do that. And also, what does that get me? If I wanted to leak things about Johnny, I could have done that in a much more successful way, in a bigger way, for years.
Not
and
when you
years.
were extorting him for $7 million.
I got a fraction of what I was entitled to in the state of California, by the way. What extortion?
Tassa Van Reeves, your ex-wife, right?
That's right. She's my ex-partner.
Oh,
She's the one that
Hold
you
on.
told this jury Mr. Depp was jealous of, right?
Yeah, well, that was 2013 fights around March, yes.
You testified that he tried to burn one of her paintings, right?
That's correct.
You testified he tried to burn one of your favorite paintings that she did, right?
I don't know if it was one of my favorites.
That's what you said.
You committed domestic violence against Miss Van Reed during your relationship, didn't you?
No, I did not.
You assaulted her at a Seattle airport in 2009, didn't you?
No, I did not.
And people saw that.
That's not true.
And it was covered in the press. Isn't that true?
It was planted in the press by
Oh my
Johnny's
God.
team 2 days after I got the TRO. Not
Can you
coincidentally.
please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 1279?
Your Honor, may we approach?
Elaine, I would not approach if I was you. I would be quiet right now. All I can think of, you know what's going through my head? That part from Polly D and Jersey Shore. Busted big time, yeah.
We could please have that article displayed for the witness. This is an article from 2 years ago, correct, Ms. Heard?
I don't know when this
May of
was.
2020.
That's not when it came out, no.
Oh, it's not? When did it come out, Miss Heard?
This story started getting planted after I got a TRO, after I got a restraining order against Johnny.
Oh, they were planted. It's all conspiracy against you. Okay.
The headline says Amber Heard
Objection,
allegedly
Your Honor.
struck.
Oh,
Objection, Your
my.
Honor. I think Your Honor ruled she can't say that.
If you want to approach again.
And there's Ben Chuse talking about get her. Get her. I don't want, it's just the tip, Shamita. I don't know. Let me, oh my God.
The title reads Amber Heard allegedly grabbed, struck her ex-girlfriend at the airport. Doesn't it?
Yes, and that's not true.
That's not what she asked you, but okay.
May we approach?
Okay.
Do you really think, Amber, that looking over to the jury, shaking your head and rolling your ojos is a good idea at this time? I'm not going to block the whole chat. Just so y'all know, my phone is far away from me at this time. I need these girls to get it together because honestly, I kind of wanted to get to IO tonight, but I don't know if we're going to have time because these hoodlums are taking forever. We're going back to 1.25
So the article,
because I
the
can't
title
take
is
it.
Amber Heard allegedly struck her
Objection, Your Honor.
ex-girlfriend.
She's already.
No, overruled. Go.
Thank you. If I may start over. Amber Heard allegedly struck her ex-girlfriend, Tassa Van Ree, at the airport in 2009. Did I read that right?
Yes, this is another example of the smear campaign.
So Mr. Depp is not the only domestic partner you've assaulted, is he, Ms. Heard?
I've never assaulted Mr. Depp or anyone else that I've been romantically linked to, ever.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right. Cross-examination. I'm sorry, redirect.
Ms. Heard, did Ms. Van Ray come out after that article came in and make a public statement it was false?
Of course,
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
Your Honor, I should at least be.
Overruled.
Thank you.
of course she did.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the TMZ alerted. Explain to the jury what you meant by the TMZ was alerted.
So when you make these kind of filings, meaning divorce, marriage, things like that, they are public record. And so when we filed for divorce, when I filed for divorce, I asked my team to file in the most discreet way, literally to put it under a stack of papers and file it at the end of day. So kind of had more of a shot of being missed by the paparazzi and by TMZ and those sorts of publicity outlets. I believe that we had been remarkably lucky following the divorce that it wasn't picked up, and that it gave me a precious few days of peace at that really fragile time. When I found out that they were going to run the story or that they had the information, I was trying to get a hold of Johnny to clarify that I did not do this in a punitive way. I didn't want him to be mad at me. I didn't want him to find out in that sort of context online.
And who
Hold
had
on a
connections to TMZ?
Let me stop you right there, Miss Heard. Let me just stop you right there because I can already tell where this is going and I'm already getting annoyed. Okay. First of all, why would you think that Johnny Depp would be upset or angry or think that you were doing this as something punitive? Could it be because he had already told yo ass before this that he intended to file, but he had an obligation with his band and he had to go on tour, and that this was going to give you both an excellent opportunity for the cooling off period, which you so desperately needed, but don't really know what you need or what you want because you break down doors and then try to blame the other person for coming in. But anyway, let's continue because you're on my nerves already, Amber Heard.
Objection calls for speculation.
Do you know?
I do know. John and I just spoke about
Your
it.
Honor, calls for
Sustain
speculation.
the objection.
Did Mr. Depp tell you about who had connections with TMZ?
Yes, we talked about it. His lawyer, Laura Wasser.
Okay. Now, I'm going to start at the verification process in July, correct?
That was
Objection
the
leading.
first one.
Sustain.
Okay.
Kissed me again, held me. I cried, he cried, and then we had a short exchange and he put a note in my pocket that said, I'll love you dead or alive.
Can defendants exhibit 1581L?
What is happening here?
I'm sorry?
Johnny, to clarify that I did not do this in a punitive way. I didn't want him to be mad at me. I didn't want him to find out in that sort of context online.
And who
Yes,
had connections to
Sugar
TMZ?
That's what
Objection
made
calls for
him
speculation.
say that.
Do you know?
I do know. John and I
Honor,
just spoke about
Your
it.
Honor, calls for
Sustain the
speculation.
objection.
Did Mr. Depp tell you about who had connections with TMZ?
Yes, we talked about it. His lawyer, Laura Wasser.
Okay. Now, I'm going to start at the verification process in July,
Why
correct?
did it
That was
skip
Objection
like
leading.
that?
First one.
That's so
Sustain.
weird.
So kissed me again.
What?
Held me. I cried, he cried, and then we had a short exchange and he put a note in my pocket that said, I'll love you dead or alive.
Can defendants exhibit 1581L? I'm sorry?
No, I didn't. It shouldn't. No, I put it back at normal, I thought. Cripes. But even if I did have it sped up, why is it skipping?
Had
That's
connections to TMZ.
Objection calls for speculation.
Do you know?
I do know. John
Your
and I
Honor,
just spoke about
Your
it.
Honor, calls for
Sustain
speculation.
the objection.
Did Mr. Depp tell you about who had connections with TMZ?
Yes, we talked about it. His lawyer, Laura Wasser.
Okay. Now, I'm going to start at the verification process
See,
in
it
July.
skips. That has
correct?
nothing to do
That
with
Objection
me.
leading.
First one.
Sustain.
Okay.
So kissed me again.
See? I'm not
Held
touching
me.
it.
I cried, he cried, and then we had a short exchange and he put a note in my pocket that said, I'll love you dead or alive.
Can defendants exhibit 1581L? I'm sorry?
No, it had to have skipped. There's a problem with the connection. It had to have. There's pieces missing. You can tell that it glitches in the Okay. All right, I will accept that. I'm going with what Max said. Because now I feel like I'm stuck in the Matrix. Now I'm weirded out by all of this. Now we're back at the charcuterie as the sidebar because for whatever reason.
Could you tell the jury what the coaster was that he slipped into your pocket, what it said?
He said, I love you forever, my slim, dead or alive.
And what, if anything, did it have in addition?
His new phone number.
And to be, just so we're clear, on how many occasions in that second mediation did Mr. Depp look you in the eye?
Many.
Okay. And when Ms. Vasquez asked you if you knew why Mr. Depp couldn't or wouldn't look you in the eye here or in the UK, you said, yes, you know. Why? Please tell the jury why.
Because he's guilty. Because he knows he's lying. Otherwise, why can't he look at me? I survived. I survived that man and I'm here and I'm able to look at him.
Thank you. You were asked about a bruise that was on your arm from March 15, 2013.
Bust out
Do
the
you
coaster.
recall how long before the picture you had sustained that bruise?
I do.
How long?
2 weeks.
You were asked a number of times by Ms. Vasquez if you took pictures from your incidents earlier in the relationship.
Yes.
Why didn't you?
It was something I started doing only kind of incidentally. You know, I was commenting to my best friend. I was looking for support from my mom, things like that. There was, I'm ashamed to say, never a thought that this would happen. I mean, not until December and my best friend taking pictures of me
Pictures
to
are
capture
for
it. Did that
documenting,
that wasn't even a thing.
not for support.
It has been suggested by Ms. Vasquez to you in your questions that you didn't tell anyone about the abuse. until the TRO. Is that true?
Objection, Your Honor, leading.
All right. What if any, all right. Who did you tell about the abuse during the time it was happening?
Objection, Your Honor,
That's
leading
not offered to, it's,
and hearsay.
Sustained.
Your Honor, it's prior consistent statements.
It's leading, it's sustained. Next question.
Okay. What, if anything, did you tell to anyone about the abuse?
Objection, Your Honor,
Therapist?
hearsay.
I'll sustain.
Your Honor, may I approach?
That's fine.
Ms. Hurd, how many people have you shared the fact of abuse prior to 2015?
Objection, Your Honor, leading.
How
Calls for
many?
hearsay.
How many?
Overruled. Roughly about 10.
Can you name them?
Yes.
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
I think she can, it's not offered, it's just showed that she informed people before. They're suggesting.
Objection,
she
Your
didn't
Honor,
tell
can we
them.
approach? This is, again, an
Now, you were asked whether you had consulted a medical doctor about any problems with your nose, correct?
That's correct.
And you indicated that you in fact had after the divorce, correct?
objection, leading.
Did you or did you not consult an ENT after the divorce?
Objection, leading.
Did you produce medical records to the defendants relating to this?
Objection, leading.
All
Calls.
right, I'll sustain the objection.
Thank you.
Leading.
And-
Next
and
question.
Your Honor, if we could,
Let's-
the witness could be instructed not to answer until I've
All right.
lodged my objection.
Wait for the objection, please.
Could we bring up Defendant's Exhibit 1077? Do you recognize this document?
My screen is black.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, I do.
And could you tell us what it is?
That's what my ENT, the ears, nose, and throat doctor, told me was. my-
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
damage.
All right, when there's objection, please stop talking. Thank you. All right, I'll sustain the objection as to hearsay.
Okay. What, if any, you were asked if you had, it was suggested that you had not produced this in discovery. Is that true? or false?
Objection, Your Honor, leading.
Your Honor,
and-
she
So
absolutely did that.
it's leading. It is leading question though. I'll sustain the objection as to leading.
What, if anything, did you do to produce medical records to the defendant, to the plaintiff in this case?
I turned over all of my devices and they had Johnny's team had a third party or someone they selected as a third party go and pull all relevant documents from those devices, which I handed over.
Do you know how many were handed over?
Hundreds of thousands, I believe, maybe.
Objection,
many
Your
more.
Honor, lack of foundation.
All right, I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
And what, if anything, did you produce to the plaintiff in connection with your consultation with an ENT specialist relating to your nose?
Objection, leading.
Sustain.
What- I said, what, if
Foundation,
anything?
hearsay.
What if any is not the cure-all, is sustained?
When did you see an ENT specialist?
2017 or 2016 or 17.
And as a result of that consultation, what did you learn about your nose?
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
I'm not asking her to tell what they said.
Yeah, I'll sustain the objection.
What, if any, production did you make to the plaintiffs of your medical records with the ENT?
Objection, Your Honor, lack of foundation.
If you only have foundation.
Do you know whether the records, medical records from your EMT were produced in discovery?
Objection, Your Honor, lack of foundation calls for speculation.
I'm
I'm
asking.
overruled if she knows.
Thank you.
Yes.
And do you recall? I'm trying. What, if anything, did the medical records reflect about your nose?
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
I'll sustain the objection.
Do you have injuries to your nose?
Yes.
Please describe those to the jury.
I have
I'm going to
a bunch of
object
scar
to
tissue.
I'm going to object to the extent it calls for hearsay and lack of foundation
Overruled.
and improper expert opinion.
We'll
She can certainly testify too.
we'll see where it goes. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
I have a significant amount of scar tissue in my nose.
Objection, Your Honor.
I'll sustain the objection.
What, if any, difficulty do you have breathing?
Objection, leading.
What, if anything? And that does cure it.
No, it doesn't, but I'll overrule the objection.
Thank you. Do you remember the
I
question?
have a significant amount of trouble breathing at night, and I've been putting off having surgery for it.
Now, you were asked about December 15, 2015, and Ms. Vasquez suggested that you did not report the abuse or the injuries to Aaron Falati. Do you recall that
Objection, Your
question?
Honor, leading.
I'm entitled to go into what Ms. Vasquez asked.
The objection is leading. I'll sustain the objection.
Okay. Did you report, what, if anything, did you report to Aaron Falati about the abuse you sustained on 12/15/2015?
Objection, leading and hearsay.
Approach.
Perhaps, Elaine, rather than approaching for the charcuterie tray, you should be approaching and asking for some lawyering advice because you're doing terrible. I'm not a lawyer at all. Okay. I don't play one on TV and I've never gone to law school. Okay. And I certainly am not a member of any bar, legal bar, that is. I might have like a coupon for, or like one of those punch cards for a couple of bars in downtown Dunedin, where I used to live. Okay. But that's beside the point. Even I know that your questions are leading. And what, if any, is leading? Lady? Good night, Nonstop Mom. It was good to have you in here. Hey, Vincent's missing here. Couldn't have said it better myself. I'm Rick James. And if Amber has a buildup of scar tissue for any reason, whether that is related to cocaine or fist to the face, there would be medical documentation of it. So where are those records, Miss Heard? That's what we want to know. Let me put this on 2 times because clearly we're going to be here a while with this bullshittery. And Elaine, I would maybe suggest spritzing yourself or spritzing like a hair tie with like lavender and chamomile essential oils so that when you are feeling annoyed, exasperated, you don't do that big sigh into the mic. It's hurtful to people who are wearing earbuds, number one. And number two, it lets the other team know that that you are getting to them. And why is they can all hear and we can't. This is why they're laughing. I wish we could hear. Perhaps after the after this is all over. Hey, good to see you. Hey, Karen Morin, good to see you too. Yeah, there's a lot of hopes on these YouTube streets.
Did you tell Nurse Filati on 12/16/2015 about the injuries you sustained from the 12/15/2015 attack?
I did. I believe I sent her pictures too.
Okay. And did you text with Nurse Filati on 12/16/2015 about the injuries that you had suffered as a result of Mr. Depp's attack on you on 12/15?
Yes, she guided me through a concussion check.
And did you tell Connell Cowan about the injuries you sustained?
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
It's prior consistent statements.
All right, I'm going to sustain the objection at this point. Next question.
Do you recall Dr. Laurel Anderson testifying that she saw two black eyes on
Objection, Your Honor.
12/17?
Leading.
Sustain as to leading.
Okay. What, if anything, do you recall from Laurel Anderson's testimony in this case about what she observed on 12/17/2015?
Objection, Your Honor. This is outside the scope of cross-examination.
It's prior consistent
I'm going to
statements.
sustain the
Its
objection.
observation is for
I'm
the
gonna-
12/17, the same day.
Sustain the objection. Next question.
May I approach?
Okay.
I can't remember this judge's name, but she's a lot more patient than I would be because I would be like, you approach me one more time with this baloney, and I'm taking 15 minutes off of your total time allowed to present your case. It's not, and that's the problem. All she would have had to do was start with.
When in December did you see Dr. Laurel Anderson?
Objection, lack of foundation.
Overruled. I saw her 2 days after the attack.
So on what day did you see that?
That would have been the 17th of December, 2016, and I told her what happened.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
I'll sustain the objection.
And when did you see Dr. Connell Cowan?
I saw him the next day, December 16th is my best recollection.
Let's jump to East Asia for a moment.
Wouldn't the 18th
We saw
be
a
the
number of
next day?
pictures from the backless dress. What, if any, motivation would you have to claim that Mr. Depp was kneeling on your back, knowing you had a backless dress?
Objection, Your Honor.
I think I
Leading.
can bring
Calls for
that out.
speculation.
Still leading. I'll sustain the objection.
Okay. Why did you say that Mr. Depp was kneeling on your back in East Asia?
In the closet of the hotel room in Tokyo, I said that because it happened to me. And it would have been much more convenient if I was making it up to not include that detail, knowing I had a backless dress and I walked a press line and got photographed.
Now, we've heard testimony about Mr. Depp
Completely
making a total of
eviscerated.
$65 million in 2015 and 2016 from his experts.
Objection, Your Honor.
Why did
Leading.
I haven't asked the question.
Hearsay. I mean,
Why did you not ask for $32.5 million from Mr. Depp?
Your Honor. Leading.
I said, why did you not ask?
Irrelevant.
I'll sustain the
Explanation.
objection. Sustain the objection to leading. Next question.
Why, can I just ask, why did you not ask for 32.5 million for Mr. Depp?
Because I didn't want
Asked and answered, relevance.
Oh, overruled, go.
Because I didn't want it. I realized that that's what I was entitled to, but I didn't want it. That's simple.
The tape recording that was played that has you laughing quite a bit. Can you tell the jury what the context of that particular tape recording was?
I don't really recall a whole lot about what was going on. I know we had been fighting kind of ad nauseum and in this sort of loop, if you will, and I'm doing my best to not show my pain. That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to be tough.
Oh,
Not sure what
okay.
kind of pain I was in.
By laughing like Cruella DeVille when she snatched up all those
Now,
puppies.
Ms.
Okay.
Vasquez asked you about how you got your role in Aquaman. Could you please describe to the jury how you got your role in
Yes.
Aquaman?
I auditioned, not Johnny. I auditioned. I worked really hard, and I went to where we were filming the first movie, Justice League. I went, I think, 5.5 months early before filming commenced, when I heard that they wanted to fire me, and so I put myself in the job.
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
Sustain.
Keep it away.
I worked really
they
hard.
said.
I worked really hard on that and had to prove myself, and I did that for, even though I was only filming for 6 days, I was there for 6 months. Just worked my butt off. That's why.
What if any role did Mr. Depp play in your getting Aquaman?
He tried to have me fired from it.
Objection, Your Honor. Speculation.
All right, I'll sustain his speculation.
How do you know that he tried to have you fired?
Objection, Your Honor. Calls for speculation and hearsay and lack of foundation.
I'm trying to lay a
All
foundation.
right, lay a foundation.
I saw it. I saw the emails. I saw the text.
I'll sustain the objection as to hearsay. Next question.
You were asked about Isaac Baruch and why and that he saw no marks. What is your recollection of your interaction with Isaac Baruch during the week of May 22nd?
I saw Isaac when I was coming or going, meaning I was leaving or arriving to the building. I saw him at a distance. We did not have a in-depth conversation, nor would we. And I told him, actually, right after it happened, what his friend had done.
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
I don't think it's offered to prove the truth of the matter asserted.
I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
Stay away from what was said. Can you just tell us what interaction you had with him and his opportunity to observe you with absolutely no makeup?
Objection,
That's
Your Honor,
impossible.
leading.
Sustain the objection. It's leading.
Absolutely leading.
Please describe for the jury your interaction with Isaac Baruch during the week of May 22nd.
Well, not only did I have makeup on, but I did attempt to kind of let him know what happened.
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
You were asked some questions about Officer Melissa Saenz' testimony. What, if anything, do you recall relating to Officer Melissa Saenz' testimony relating to your injuries?
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
Your Honor said I could redirect after cross-examination. when she-
Oh, for fuck's sake. There's only 5 minutes left of this portion. Y'all are killing me with this. Hey, while we wait, anybody that watched this part in its entirety, meaning not the part with Amber Heard, but
I recall her
Io.
saying that she didn't feel that the state I was in wasn't enough.
Okay.
And what about the property damage?
Objection, calls for speculation.
Do you know?
Yes,
Please tell us.
as much friendship at that time as I could possibly get.
Now, the video showed him laying his head on your shoulder. Can you describe for the jury what the interaction was, without saying what was said, what the interaction was that led to that?
He, after seeing my face, put his
Objection, Your
head on
Honor,
my
calls for
shoulder.
speculation.
That doesn't call for speculation. If she sees that he sees her.
He touched the side of my
I'll
face
sustain the
too.
objection.
And
Okay.
again, Your Honor, if we can instruct the witness
If
to
you could wait till after the objection, please. All right. Next question.
What did Mr. Franco do
All hell's breaking
on the
loose.
elevator before laying his head on your shoulder?
He touched the side of my face and responded to what he saw.
We talked about you were shown a bunch of newspaper headlines, and there was one in particular referring to sexual violence. What, if anything, did Mr. Waldman do to you relating to that article?
Objection, Your Honor. Lack of foundation calls for speculation.
Leading.
What did he do to her?
Unintelligible. I don't understand the question.
Overruled, we'll see where it goes.
He was carrying the paper that had that headline on it that he leaked and threw it at me at the UK trial. We were unfortunately sat kind of actually literally next to one another with COVID spacing in between us. And he threw the paper down at me as he sat down with that on the cover.
And where was that?
In the UK, at the UK trial.
Objection, Your Honor. This is beyond the scope.
That's not beyond the
No,
scope.
overruled.
Thank you. Why did you tweet about the makeup and Mr. Waldman?
Because he was calling me a liar and a hoaxer and that this was an elaborate hoax just to get Johnny.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
I need to
Next
keep
question.
that in my
Okay,
wheelhouse. Objection, unintelligible. I mean, what is this?
I don't have any more questions, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right. Ma'am, you can have a seat next to your attorney, okay?
Oh my
You
God,
can go
that
to
was
seat next to her.
painful.
That's fine. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and take our afternoon recess then for 15 minutes. Do not discuss the case with anybody and don't do any outside research, okay?
Wow.
All right.
Okay. Hang on just a second. Hold on. Whew. I'm sorry, you guys. Oh, wow. That was a lot. She's just like, peace out. I think she asked the judge, I think she had to go potty or something. Wow. I'm beyond flabbergasted, you guys. I have no words, and you guys know how I always have words for things, always. And I'm really struggling with words for this. I mean, Elaine. I think you should really take my advice about the lavender essential oils on your wrists, or maybe on like a hair tie or something, so that you can calm yourself and get a hold of yourself. It was absolutely an excellent, finale. Elaine was just, I just don't even, yikes. It's not looking good for Amber. It's not. It's, I think okay, let me be professional for just a minute. Let me harness my cheese and align my chakras. Okay. This is what I'll say about Amber Heard's testimony as a whole. Generally speaking, it's well known, and it's just logical, that testimony is either made or broken on cross. Okay. And I did think that during her direct examination, she attempted to engage the jury, albeit in a very aggressive way. I'll say that. I think that she probably scored a few, maybe 2 or 3 points with the jury at times during direct. But then it all came undone during cross-examination. And for me, for today, in particular, the key moment is the playing of the audio. And for me, yeah, they have Amber Heard admitting that she hit Johnny Depp, right? Okay. But that's a bit like saying, it's sort of like how her attorney, Rottenborn, continued to bring up Johnny Depp's drug abuse, because it's really redundant and ridiculous, because Johnny Depp himself has admitted to substance abuse and alcohol abuse. And he's admitted that he has sought treatment, and he has been successful and unsuccessful, and he's quit for a period of time and gone back. So that part is, it's helpful to the case, to her, to him, in saying that there is a record of her on an audio tape of admitting to hitting Johnny Depp. But the hitting is not really what's in question here, right? Because it's not that she's ever denied that she hit him, but she is saying that she hit him in self-defense. And the truth, but for me, and I would imagine the jury as well, I think the most profound bit of testimony from today, although that last exchange was fireworks and I enjoyed it. The truth is that having her testify to that specific incident that was played in court today, with the bathroom and the toe and the punching, right, is that there is an audio recording, and Johnny Depp very clearly states that she is knocking on the door. And her testimony is that she was trying to keep him from coming in. So if you're trying to keep him from coming into the bedroom from the bathroom, isn't that a hostage situation? What, you're trying to keep him locked in the bathroom? He's trying to escape the bathroom? Because that's what I heard. If I believe your story, and I believe that you are doing what you said you did, which is to barricade the door and prevent Johnny Depp from entering. The one thing that you guys both agree on is that Johnny Depp was in the bathroom. So if you're keeping him from entering the bedroom, which would also be simultaneously exiting the bathroom, right? Because that's where he was. Then why are you trying to keep him locked in? Even if it's a Jack and Jill bathroom, okay? Because Jack and Jill bathrooms have two entrances. There's one from the bathroom that goes to the bedroom. And then there's one that goes most of the time to a hallway. Unless it's a real old school Jack and Jill bathroom like the Brady Bunch had, where there's 3 entries, right? There's the girls' room, enters into the bathroom. The boys' bedroom enters into the bathroom. And then there is another door, the third door, that you can enter or exit into the hallway. But either way, why would she be trying to prevent him from leaving the bathroom? And again, she's also on tape or audio. It's not really tape. She's also being recorded. And she is saying, Johnny Depp is saying, I went into the bathroom to get away from you, which she acknowledges Well, that's what I'm saying, anaphylaxis. It makes no sense. If this is the only thing, they both agree that he was in the bathroom, okay? And what the disagreement was Johnny Depp trying to keep her from coming into the bathroom, or was Amber Heard trying to keep him from coming into the bedroom by knocking on the door? And how do you barricade a door? Don't bathroom doors typically the door opens inside the bathroom towards the inside of the bathroom? So if you're standing on the other side of the door, the bedroom side of the door, the hallway side of the door, not inside the bathroom, how do you barricade a door that opens away from you? There's no He was trying to get away from her. There was an argument. It had escalated. He dipped. He went into the bathroom, and she is trying to prevent him from opening a door. The door would be opening towards him, not towards her. So if follow me here. She's saying what caused her to take a swing at Johnny Depp was the fact that her toes were stuck underneath the door, which means he was trying to close it. And if he was trying to close it, then she was trying to open it. And that's why I have a problem with Amber Heard. Because the way that she talks about things happening, I don't know how things work. Well, I'm from Texas, and I can tell you right now, the doors in Texas open the same way as the doors in Florida, okay? Doors open up into the room. So you can't be barricading a door that way. Does that make sense? She's trying to get into the bathroom. That's my point. Because even if you let's just play this out, right? Okay. A couple is having an argument that starts in the bedroom. And one party stays in the bedroom, and the other party walks to the bathroom and shuts the door. Okay? As a de-escalation. After that point, when you're pounding on the door to get in, that's a problem. And that's the truth. Well, what she did, I think I've learned a lot, is that they're fighting over the door, okay? And she is pushing against the door. And as she's doing so, her foot is crossing the threshold between the bedroom and the bathroom. There's always some type of something there, unless the whole house is done with the same flooring, or the bedroom and the bathroom are the same flooring. Then there would be no need for a threshold in front of the door, like if it was all wood. Okay. But if it was wood going to tile, there's a threshold right there. You guys know how houses work. All right. So as she's scooching to push the door open, right? That's the only with forward momentum could her foot have gotten up underneath the door. And if you are trying to keep somebody in the bathroom, right? Because the door opens into the bathroom and she's on the other side of it. So if you are trying to keep him from coming into the bathroom or to the bedroom, then you would hold the handle and pull back. You would not lean into the door. Leaning into the door is the way the door goes. That's the direction the door goes to open. So if you're trying to keep him from entering and he's in the bathroom and you're in the bedroom, the only way to do that successfully would be to pull the door towards you. That's how you barricade somebody. So she's trying to, exactly, Vincent's missing ear. She is trying to say that she is on both sides of the door at the same time. Now, listen, Amber Heard. Now, I know you played Mira in the Justice League and in Aquaman, okay? And I know Mira has some special powers, but she doesn't have those powers. Mira cannot be on both sides of the door at the same time. Okay? Period. And that's exactly what she did. And if you can take the emotion out of those tapes or out of those recordings, okay, and you can just hear the words, right, that are being used and the description of the events by both parties, you can I think it helps. It's easier to understand what's going on. Right. But here's the thing, Karen, if he is trying to shut the door, okay, the only way that he would be trying to shut the door is if the door is open, right? Obviously, it doesn't have to be open a lot, but just enough, which means that if she is pushing to get in, her feet have to be in that space where the door closes in order for her foot to get scraped with the door. She had to have a forward momentum. Exactly, Charlie. It can't be a Jack and Jill bathroom. Could have gone through the other door. The truth of the matter is, if she is doing what she says she's doing, which is to keep him from coming into the bedroom, the only way to keep him from coming into the bedroom would be for her to be pulling backwards, because that's how the door works. And if he is if she is pulling the door one direction towards her to keep it closed, Johnny Depp is on the other side of the door, if you follow Amber Heard's logic, and he is pulling it in the opposite direction to keep it open. So they're working against each other. So at the end of the day, Amber had to have, even let's say she stepped forward to get a better, more torque, more leverage, right? So she stepped forward a little to adjust herself, and that's she loosened just enough for Johnny Depp to be able to lean inside the door, right? Or lean up against the door, which is what caused her feet to get scraped by it. Yeah, I mean, it's possible it is basic physics. It's possible that she could have stepped forward in order to get leverage. But at the end of the day, She's not barricading the door. Barricading means to put something in front of. The truth is, if she were telling the truth, it's probably semantics and maybe a poor choice of words. I'll give her that benefit of the doubt. But she's not trying to barricade the door. She's trying to pull the door shut, according to what she is testifying to what occurred. She is trying to prevent Johnny Depp from leaving the bathroom to get into the bedroom, instead of just getting out of the bedroom in general, just leaving the friggin' house. And I think that her explanation of the audio is also nonsensical. Because if you're okay, let's go back to the very beginning of this. Why was Amber Heard recording conversations, arguments, etc. with Johnny Depp in the first place? What did she testify to? She testified that she was taking the pictures and doing the recordings because Johnny Depp, when they would have these blowouts, would frequently would not remember what happened, would not remember what the order in which things took place, right? And so she started to record audio, right? So if you're recording audio and taking pictures, because this is before, so she's doing all of this because she wants to have an accurate historical record of what exactly occurred, right? So she's doing all of the things, including recording discussions after the fact. The only reason anybody would ever record a conversation that they're having with somebody else is for evidence at a later date. And I don't mean evidence necessarily in a court proceeding, just evidence. Like she claims that Johnny Depp just would deny, and argue what the meaning of is, right? And say that he didn't say that. So now she's got him on tape and she can play it back. Okay, you have him on tape and you can play it back, but you don't confront him over the most serious and egregious issues. But you do, however, admit that you hit him. Good night, Amelia Sparkle. Sweet dreams. Now, this is what I think occurred, because I've been thinking about this. I'm not going to, I would not use the term setting him up. What I would say is that she is extremely opportunistic. And I think she thought that she could break him, meaning she could browbeat him and use emotional manipulation, and then it did escalate it to, I don't think it started out always with her with physical violence. I think that what she did was, I think she saw that Johnny Depp wasn't going to be broken, that he had too many people surrounding him that would essentially be his escape plan, and they would pull him out of situations and get him away from her. And so the only way to have control over somebody completely is for there not to be any outside influence. And unfortunately for Amber Heard, there was always outside influence around him, in her opinion, right? Not necessarily that they were actually influencing him, but he had a safety net in his security team. He had a safety net in the staff. He had a safety net whenever anybody else was around. She couldn't isolate him from all of those people. And that's, I believe, when she began to catch him on the nod. And I believe that that's how it started. That's where the plan for taking the pictures came from. And I actually think that I know this is going to sound messed up, but I think that she did everything after May 21st as a way to get him to come back. That's why she's the one that filed. That's why she's the one who called the police but stopped short. She's not the one that actually called 911, right? But she didn't stop anybody from calling 911 either. She knew they were coming. And rather than just do nothing, right? What did she do? She took pictures. She called her entertainment attorney. Then she called the attorney that the entertainment attorney referred her to. And then the police show up and she says she doesn't wish to make a statement. It's not a comment, Amber. This isn't a press tour, okay? You're not being questioned by the media. You're being questioned by the cops. It's a statement, not a comment. Weirdo. Okay. So I think because at that point, Johnny Depp had told her that he was going to file for divorce. He was done. He'd had enough and he was leaving her. And I think that the true intention was to use this stuff as leverage in order for him not to leave her. That is what I think. And the reason that I think that is because of another audio tape that they played. A recording. It's the recording where she is pleading with him to look at her, pleading with him to take his glasses off, all of those things. Does that sound like a woman who has resolved herself that it's either her or him and she has to get out of that very toxic and abusive relationship? And that's what I think is, I don't think that it is blackmail in the financial sense, but I think that once she filed it, I don't even think it's the divorce. That's not what did it for Johnny Depp. I think the filing of the TPO was the straw that broke the camel's back. She went too far this time, and there wasn't going to be any coming back for it. And I think that Amber realized that. I think she realized she had done fucked up and she had went too far. And I think that's why then she just said YOLO and full steam ahead. And that's what I think. And the thing is that there are situations with domestic violence, and it happens. It's hard because it's just hard, right? And so I wouldn't even hold against her the fact that she wanted to meet with him after she had filed the TPO as like an indication of that she wasn't a victim. The part that I am having the struggle with is the meeting where the audio tape is recording and she's begging him. Hey, criminality, I'm about to get off here, babe. So I think that the bigger indication is the that audio that shows that she's one of the last things she said on direct was that she knew that she couldn't do this anymore, that the relationship was toxic, and that one of these times he was going to take it too far and accidentally kill her. Those were the words essentially that she used, not verbatim, but she did use those words. So if that's the case, why are there email exchanges and the email exchanges and text exchanges where she says that she didn't want to call the cops? Her lawyers advised her to call the cops. But then yesterday she says that the cops were called, that she had no control over that, and that the attorney advised her, just don't speak to the cops. So there you go. That's my opinion. That's what I think it is all about, really. I think that what she did was she intended to try to get him back and she went too far. That's what I think. And I don't think that there's a kernel of truth at all to her saying that he won't look at her because he's guilty. See, because people who are capable of the acts that she says that he did to her don't feel guilt like that. In fact, what they would do is stare at her to intimidate her. Maybe not consistently, maybe not constantly, but frequently. He would have looked at her as a form of intimidation. Animals, when they feel guilty, they don't make eye contact because it's seen as aggressive. Humans, not the same. He didn't make eye contact with her because he's guilty. He didn't make eye contact with her because he can't stand to look at her because of the things that she has accused him of doing. That's why. It has nothing to do with being guilty. Because he looked at every other person. He paid attention during their testimony. Even when they testified to events that wouldn't be favorable to him, he still was engaged. Exactly. She had gone too far to walk anything back. So anyway, I just this was a good live, I think. Do you guys think that I should go live in the morning and stream the testimony tomorrow too? Or should I just do what we did tonight and do like a catch up? Not only did she stare at him, right? She even when she was looking elsewhere, like her head was positioned elsewhere, you know what I'm saying? When she would do different things to try, I don't know, I know she wasn't trying to catch his eye, but I think she continued to check to see if he would look at her. And of course he didn't. Not once. So, oh, there's only going to be one live witness tomorrow. Then no, I'm not going to do that because I can't make it through the depositions for whatever reason. They drive me insane. So we'll do like a, I mean, I'll watch, right? But, well, maybe I'll just go live. I'll just go live tomorrow at 9:00 and we'll just see how it goes. If it gets too, tedious or whatever, I'll just end the live. It's not that big of a deal. And we'll talk about, we'll do a recap of everything tomorrow night. So that's what I'll do. All right, you guys. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it. It's a great chat. Special shout out to Cement Shoes for answering my photo questions. I appreciate it so much. And I will see all of you lovely people tomorrow. Y'all take care. Good night.